So, you want to get into drifting? I'm Nismospoolin, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to do from step one all the way up to going to the track every time there's an event and shredding it. So let's get into it.
Oh, feel that healing beat.
When you start drifting, or when you decide to get into drifting, the first thing you're going to want is a job. Aww. I know. It sounds medial and silly, but drifting is expensive. Really expensive. From day 1 to year 10, it's an expensive hobby to get into. And let's make sure that we're absolutely clear. Drifting is a hobby. And it always will be a hobby. There's very, very, very few people that make a living off of drifting. Even people in the pro level of drifting don't make a living drifting. A wise man once said, "It takes a fortune to make a fortune as a race car driver." It's that expensive. So, first thing you want to do is you want to go and get yourself a job. It doesn't really matter what job, as long as you're making some money. Go get a job. Go get a job at McDonald's. Go get a job at Walmart. Go get a job. Go make enough, just money to start out. So you've got your job at McDonald's. Now what do you do? From there, you want to get tools, because drift cars always break. Always. They can break just sitting in your driveway. They're very resilient to a point, but for the most part, it's going to break. So you want to get yourself some tools. You want to get the essentials. You'll want to get a jack stands, a ratchet, sockets, all the basic stuff that you would need to work on just about any car. You'll need to get, because you're going to do upgrades, you're going to fix broken parts, all sorts of stuff. So you want a job, you want tools. Your next step in your drifting journey, as it were, after much heartbreak, I'm finally here. Hi, Greg. So, we got cheese in a can. What a great time to be alive. Will be to make some friends. So you'll probably, go on Facebook, go on Twitter, go to local events and stuff like that. Go to little car meets, local car meets. Just about every town I've ever been to has a car meet of some sort on one day or another. Go to the car meet, make some friends, find people that are doing what you want to do, and mingle with them. Don't try to make friends with the big and most popular people. Don't go out there and try to make friends with your Adam LZs and your friggin', your super popular people, because you're just going to end up disappointed. Those kinds of people that are really high up in popularity, they're going to want to come to you to make a friendship, whereas the smaller people, they're more likely to accept you and bring you on and teach you what they know, and give you more of an open window to get into what you're trying to do, which is drifting. And keep in mind, you still don't have a car. You don't have anything besides your job at McDonald's and your basic tools. And now you've got some friends. All right? So now that you've got all that stuff, where do you go from there? Well, let's say that you've worked at your job at McDonald's for a little bit. You've saved up some money. You've got a little bit, probably about 2,000 or 3,000. You want to go grab yourself a car. What kind of car do you want to first get into drifting? Do you want a 240SX? Do you want a 350Z? What do you want? Well, nowadays, 2019, I'm going to say to steer clear completely of the Nissan 240SX, as it was the most popular entry-level drift car for the longest time. Everything has skyrocketed in price. And by skyrocketed, I mean the most medial stuff is thousands now. A shell alone is usually $1,500 to $2,000. It's just not worth it, considering you're going to be smashing up your car all the friggin' time. You're going to want to be able to get parts cheap and easy. You want to go for something a little bit cheaper. Now, do you want an SC400 like what I got? That was cheap. It was super cheap. I think I spent $1,500 on my car when I first got it. No, you don't want something like that because SC400s never came in manual, and it's very expensive to convert it over so that you can do what you want. So you want to start with something that's cheap to buy initially and cheap to get to where you want it to go. Usually a Toyota Corolla AE86 is generally cheap, and doing upgrades and stuff to it or fabrication or anything is usually pretty cheap. But it's the drivability of the car that's going to fall into place after that. So is it going to be something that's snappy or slow or all these other things? I could get into picking a car in a whole nother video, but for right now, we're just going to go ahead and say that you picked up a Nissan 350Z. For really cheap, beat up, crappy, needing some work, but you got it, right? And you've got your tools and you've got your job. You can put your money into that car and make it ready to go. So you've got your job, you've got your tools, your friends, and you've got a piece of crap car that's rear-wheel drive, that's ready to rumble. You've got all these parts, you've got all these things. Now you want to start figuring out how to make that car driftable and ready to go to the track and shred with your friends. I'll probably make another video on that. But for right now, we're just going to say that you welded the differential, got your brakes squared away to where your brakes all work, your handbrake works, you figured everything out, and get yourself a helmet, get yourself whatever you need to go down to the track. Now, it's time to find yourself a local track that does drift days regularly, probably 1 or 2 a month at this track. Make that your home track, not something that's too far away, maybe an hour, 2 hours away of, because you're probably going to be driving your car there every single time. You don't want it to be too far away. So find yourself a nice track where you and your new friends can go and go drifting. Go to a couple of drift days there as a spectator and kind of watch and see everybody. Make friends with people and get yourself situated for when you finally bring your car to the track. With all of that said, you've gone to the track and you've seen everything. You see the layout. You've seen the pits. You've seen how everything functions and works. You know the people that are running it and all this other stuff. Go back home, get your stuff ready, and set yourself up for your next drift day. We'll cover things in more detail in other videos, but right now, this is your starting point. Get yourself a job, tools, friends, car, track. Good to go. Your 5 beginner steps to go into the track and starting drifting. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm a pretty cool dude. Liking and commenting really helps bring more attention to all these videos, so I would very much appreciate that. And if you're not a subscriber here yet, you know, F you, dude. How dare you? Subscribe right now. You subscribe right now. I see you doing it. I see you hovering the subscribe button. Maybe come up in there.
Just gotta keep moving forward. Let's break it.